For Work Together 13.3, we're reporting withholding and payroll taxes. This is a Form 941. This looks very intimidating. A lot of students get worried about this when we get to this part of the assignment. I'm going to tell you, if you go through and follow the steps and read the directions, it is a very easy process, okay? There's two tricky components to it, and I'll show you how to get those when we get near the bottom. But first things first, we need to go through and fill this in. So this is Audio Solutions. They gave me the company address. So up here at the top, we need to write Audio Solutions. The company address was 625 Sandpiper Street, Ormond Beach, Florida. My employee identification number is going to be 70, so the 701. And then my date quarter ender is going to be March 31st. And that looks good right there. So we've completed the top portion of the chart already, okay? So we're going to scroll down a little bit. So you can see right down here where the main stuff gets working on. Alright, so number of employees in the pay period that includes March 12th. There were 6 given to me in the directions. Let's put 6 there. Number 2, total wages and tips plus other compensation. In my book, it gives me date paid, January 31st, February 28th, and March 31st. This would be a great example for you to open up your textbooks to 382 and follow along where I'm getting these numbers. My total earnings was $10,440, $10,960, and $12,400. Add those 3 numbers up, and you should get $33,800. All right? Total income tax withheld from wages and tips and sick pay. So you need to... So when we're withholding our income tax, what we do in our book is we go and see our 731, 767, and 868. We add those 3 numbers together, and we get $2,366. Adjustment, there's no adjustment made, so we put a 0 here. All right? Adjusted total of income tax withheld 3 as adjusted by line 4. Nothing, there's no difference here, so we just put our 2366 in there again. Now, as you can see, they're throwing a lot of different numbers out there at you to try to confuse you. Just take your time when you go through this, follow the steps, follow my lead, and you'll be perfectly fine. All right, so our taxable security wages, we use our $33,800, times it by 0.124, which gives me $4,191.20. All right, there's no Social Security taxable tip, so we put a 0 there. So we also put a 0 over here. You need to include zeros here. If not, it'll mark a point down on you, so keep that in mind. And again, $33,800 times my 0.029, or 2.9%, gives me $980.20. Total Social Security and Medicare taxes. Add lines 6B, D, and 7B. So add this, plus this, plus this, gives me a grand total of $5171.40. Number 9, we had no adjustment of sick or Social Security stuff, no sick pay, no fractions, none of that, so we put a 0 there. This would all be given to you in your directions if you needed it, so keep that in mind as you're going along. Number 10, adjusted total of Social Security and Medicare. Line 8 as adjusted by line 9. There's no difference, so we're bringing down our 5171.40. I'm going to scroll down a little bit more here. Let's see where we're at. Our total taxes, add lines 5 and 10. A bad choice to scroll there for me. Add line 5 plus line 10 gives me a tax total of $7,537.40. All right, now it's safe for me to scroll, so let's get you up there a little bit. Advanced Earned Income Credit, EIC payments. We had none of those, no EIC payments, so that belongs to be a 0. Line 13. Subtract line 12 from 11. So subtracting line 12 from 11, no change needed, so it's $7,537.40. And again, our total deposits for the quarter, $7,537.40. All right, balance due. Subtract line 14 from 13. 14 from 13 gives me a 0 balance. All right, so now we're moving on down to the bottom portion that we need to do. We are going to be monthly schedulers, so we're going to put a check mark there. and we need to go through and complete these transactions down here. So now here comes a little bit of a tricky part. For my first month, get a little text box here so I can show you what I'm doing. For the first part, we're going to have my federal income tax of $731.00 plus, let me see if I can move this out of here, plus my employee Social Security tax withheld, which is $647.28. Remember earlier how we have to double that? So I'm going to add another one in there. I'm just going to put it in there again. $647.28 plus my Medicare tax withheld is $151.38. Again, plus $151.38. That should give you a grand total that belongs right here. So as you can see, I did one of the income tax withheld, two of the Social Security tax withheld given to me on page 382, and two of the Medicare tax withheld. Get that out of there. Gives me a month. Oh, wrong button. Gives me a first month liability of $2328.32. All right, same thing for second month. Now you're going to February 28th. You're going to have $767 plus $679.52 plus $679.52 plus $158.92 and a $158.92 again, which gives me a $2443.88. And then for the third month, you have $868 plus $768.80 plus $768.80 plus $179.80 and another $179.80, which gives me a grand total of $2765.20. Add those three numbers up, and we should be getting the same number as we received up here. 7537.40. All right. Now, last steps to complete this transaction are to sign our name, print your title, we are our student name and a manager, and our date was 4/24. So now, the biggest problems you can run into on this transaction or this completed document would be this part down here. You have to remember that you're using two employee Social Security taxes and two employee Medicare taxes, but only one of the federal income tax. So if you don't do 2 and 2, then your numbers are not going to match. You're not going to get these same numbers down here. All right, so keep in mind this number must match this number above. All right, so that is it for 13.3. Take your time. Good luck with 13.3 on your own.